Hello, and welcome back to Loud Librarian Season 3, Episode 2. I am Hannah.
Hey, it's Amber.
Hi, Amber. How are you?
I'm slow, Hannah. Let's just get on with it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So this season of Loud Librarians, we are exploring our very own collection in the Fordham University Libraries, right? And last episode, we took you all the way up to the fourth floor.
Super fun.
So fun. Special collections and archives. And this episode, we are exploring the general collection, which is incredibly vast. I mean, okay, so essentially the general collection of a library, it refers to the main body of materials that are available for general use by library patrons. So this is what you think of when you think of a library. It's all the stuff,
right?
All right, lots of stuff. At our university library in particular, it's like nearly 2 million books, give or take. Probably take a little bit under that. So for this episode, there's so many options to explore, so we're gonna narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah, so we're going to do a fun exploration of what's in our collection based on popular musicians, TV shows, books, and more.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. These are like books that we think essentially kind of inspire, like, you know, when we think of these things, we are inspired to read maybe a book from that collection.
Yeah.
So to start, we're going to start with the very popular music and the very popular, some say that she's the Taylor Swift of her time, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So how we're going to play this little game is like, if you like Taylor Swift, maybe you might like these books in our collection. And so Amber and I are going to stay library neutral on our on Taylor Swift,
right.
Which means, you know, we don't say anything here is good or bad. We are library neutral. We're just giving you what's available here.
Exactly.
So if you like Taylor Swift, and in particular, if you like her album Midnights, which is one of her albums, then you might like the book Midnight Library by Matt Haig.
Very clever.
Yeah, they both have the term midnight in it. Obviously, we're starting with a library-themed book, too.
Yeah.
This is an ebook available in our collection. So Taylor's album, Midnights, it's a collection of moments and memories that kept Taylor up at night. And Haig's breathtaking and introspective novel delivers on many similar themes of reflection and wonder. I mean, the novel, it touches base upon like what could have happened if you made different choices in your life. So when the main character, Nora, when she finds a mystical library with a kooky librarian that contains all these books and answers to that very question of different paths she could have taken in her life. It's kind of similar to Swift's album Midnights. Now, I love Midnight Library. I think it's like a super fun read. If you are a fan of the prequel of the Chronicles of Narnia, The Magician's Nephew, of like A World in Between Worlds, then you'll love this book. And apparently, if you're a fan of Taylor Swift, you'll also like this too.
Yeah, I got another one for you. It's called How to Fall Out of Love Madly by Jana Cassell. It's a story of two young women taking back their power after being taken advantage of, and the journey they go on through to rise above the overall lackluster treatment from their respective romantic partners. With sentiments like those heard in Swift's songs The Man and Shake It Off, this book, two main characters navigate young adulthood, push against gender expectations, and grapple with issues of misogyny. Though the characters start off as something from Swift's Lover era, they very much evolve into a place that reads much more like songs from Reputation album towards the end.
Ooh. Is that when she started putting on that deep red lip?
The red lip.
Very cool. Okay, so these are both available as ebooks, so accessible really like anywhere. But, you know, Taylor Swift isn't the only popular thing in the world right now. Music isn't the only thing that we consume. We also read. And a lot of people are reading Colleen Hoover, like in her books, It Ends With Us. It starts with us. Where is us? This is us.
That's a great show.
Honestly, I don't know. The rest of those titles could have been, those are complete lies. But I'm pretty sure that It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us.
It Ends With and Starts With It is a thing. Yeah.
Where is us? Who is us? Why us?
Why us?
No, these aren't her books. Okay, anyway.
Us?
But the point is, she's popular. And that's great. And if you are a fan of her work, you might also be a fan of literary Irish darling Sally Rooney, whose book, Normal People, we have in our collection as an ebook. We also have it in the stacks in the PR section. And Normal People, which is, I believe, a TV show as well. But, the book, it follows the characters Connell and Marianne. They grew up in the same small town. And at school, Connell, he's popular, he's well-liked. Marianne, she's kind of a loner. But when they strike up a conversation, it's awkward, it's electrifying. Something kind of changes with them. And Normal People, it's the story of mutual fascination, friendship, love. It takes us from that first conversation to the years beyond. So in the company of these people, they stay together, they can't be apart. It's an exploration of young love, misunderstanding. It has rawness and depth. I mean, it's similar to Hoover's books in that it has complex characters and relationships. It provides a thoughtful look at love and miscommunication. But, it could also, it's known for a bit, Rooney is known for a bit more of subtle emotional complexity. So whereas perhaps in It Ends With Us by Hoover, she does deal with heavy topics like domestic abuse, but the emotional beats, they're a bit more direct and dramatic. The story, it has a clear emotional high and points and with resolutions. It can feel a bit more conventional in comparison to Rooney's Normal People's subtlety, which is understated, and perhaps in that sense a more realistic portrayal of relationships and human emotions. But, that's also, you might have already gone through all of Rooney's bibliography, so there's more. There's also something like The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller, which is available as an ebook. And this also, similar to Hoover's books and It Ends With Us, etc., it explores difficult relationships, childhood trauma, the choices we make in love. But The Paper Palace, it offers a more intricate narrative, delving into the protagonist's inner conflict as she navigates love, betrayal, and personal growth. The prose is more literary and nuanced. It adds a bit more depth. It's a bit more of an inner dialogue here. If you ever read, Anna Karenina, when she kind of, Tolstoy was known for like writing characters in portraying their inner dialogue. A little more like, listen, not saying this lady's Tolstoy, but you know what I mean. Good books, we recommend.
Hannah, do you know anything about Brat?
Yeah, it was Brat Summer.
It's Brat Summer.
That I know everything about Brat. We work at a college, Amber.
So the next category is all about the popular vibes because we're the popular vibes, Anna.
We are. We're Brat.
We're Brat. And if you're all about Brat, you'll love this first book. It's called Liar Mouth by John Waters. And John Waters is iconic. He has an amazing mustache. He created Hairspray and Crybaby and Serial Mom. Fantastic man. So Liar Mouth is a dark and comedic novel filled with his signature irreverent style. It centers around Marcia Sprinkle, fabulous name, a pathological liar and a thief who despises honesty and delights in causing chaos. She lives a life of petty crime, conning strangers, and constantly evading her bizarre family, who are just as unhinged. Sounds like my family. Waters takes readers on a wild ride through the absurdities of Marcia's world filled with outrageous characters and ridiculous situations. The novel is an exploration of deviance, family dysfunction, and the joy of being unapologetically true to one's worst self.
Not one's true self, one's
worst self. I think you need
totally
to
Brat.
Explore both. You have a best and a worst side.
Yeah.
Be honest about it. The second book is called The Other People's Clothes by Kayla Hinkle. It's another dark and thrilling novel about two American art students, Zoe and Haley, who moved to Berlin in 2009. They sublet an apartment from a famous thriller writer and soon become obsessed with the idea that their lives are being watched and used as material for the writer's next book. This is like my dream.
This sounds really good. I have not read this. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, the The novel explores themes of voyeurism, identity, and the blurred lines between reality and fiction. As the friends' paranoia grows, their lives spiral into chaos, culminating in a series of wild parties and unsettling events that test the limits of their friendship and sanity.
God, they sound so cool and so brat.
And so brat.
Oh, God. Man, that makes me want to be young in Berlin in 2009 being a brat.
Yeah.
But you know what else? Is like beyond a brat, like what people have said that we are is
What?
well, you know what no one has ever said about us is
What?
that we seem like we're into football. And that's because we're not. But we understand that football is very popular. It is football season.
Yeah.
I am often forced to watch football every Sunday by the men in my life, and or have it on in the background. And so we have books on football because we're not just like Taylor Swift, Colleen Hoover, and Brat. We do football.
We do football.
And we have a book. It's not written by Tom Brady. It's written by Catherine Hill. It's called A Short Move. And A Short Move, which is by Catherine Hill, is a novel. It's centered on the life of Mitch Wilkins, a talented football player whose journey takes him from high school stardom to the professional leagues. This book explores how the sport shapes Mitch's identity, from the intense pressures and physical toll of football to the fleeting nature of athletic success. As Mitch navigates the triumphs and struggles of his career, the novel delves into the impact of football on his relationships, family, and sense of self. It offers a deep reflection on the cost of pursuing glory on the field. So this is a fiction book, but if you want to see the nonfiction side of football, Amber?
Got it. Spies on the Sidelines, The High-Stakes World of NFL Espionage by Kevin Bryant. So this book delves into the hidden world of spying and intelligence gathering in professional. This is like, I would probably read this book.
I give you 40 pages.
Oh, okay. So it delves into the world of spying and intelligence gathering in professional football. The book uncovers how teams employ covert tactics, from stealing playbooks and decoding signals to using informants and surveillance to gain a competitive edge. Drawing from real-life examples and Bryant's background in military intelligence, it explores the ethical and strategic dimensions of NFL espionage, shedding light on a fascinating and lesser-known aspect of the sport.
NFL espionage are two words
that you never thought would be combined.
And you know what? I stand corrected. I can see you reading that book. That sounds
exactly.
Cool. Heck yeah.
Turn that into a Lifetime movie.
Touchdown.
And I'm in.
Yeah. That's a touchdown.
That's
a touchdown.
Home run. Okay. And so let's switch back to something that me and Hannah are like masters of. And that's reality TV.
Oh, yeah. Football's not the only real reality on TV.
How did you spend your summer, Hannah?
Oh, I spent it like the rest of the world watching Love Island USA Season 6, hosted by darling Ariana Madix.
I know. That was all the good things for Ariana Madix, seriously. So if you're into Love Island, check this amazing book out called The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. It's about a romance that follows Fizzy Shen, a successful romance novelist who has lost her spark for writing. Despite her public persona as a romantic idealist, Fizzy is secretly jaded about love. Who isn't? Enter Connor Price, a documentary filmmaker and single dad who is tasked with creating a reality dating TV show to boost his career. When his bosses decide the show should revolve around finding true love, he recruits Fizzy to be the leading lady in the hopes that her journey might reignite her passion for romance. As Fizzy navigates the ups and downs of dating on screen, she and Connor develop an unexpected connection. The lines between reality and fiction blur as their chemistry grows, challenging Fizzy to confront her own fears about love and happiness. The novel is filled with humor, heart, and a cast of colorful characters exploring themes of self-discovery, vulnerability, and the unpredictability of love. I love that.
That sounds, I was feeling a little depressed when Love Island ended. And now I know I can go right into our own library collection and continue my Love Island journey, which is just consuming things about Love Island.
I love a reality TV show based book.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like they, in the show, when they take people aside and say that they want to have a chat, it's like they've taken all these chats and put it into an entertaining book for us to consume. I love that. Okay, we've gone through, we've done popular music, literature, vibes, football, TV.
Yeah.
What else are we missing? We also have video games that are popular in our world, and in particular, there's some two. World of Warcraft and Red Dead Redemption that we can, we have some books that are, maybe if you are a player of this game, you might like these books in our collection. So let me start by saying that World of Warcraft, or WoW, it's a massive multiplayer online role-playing game, all right? In the game, players create a character avatar and explore an open game world in which they fight towering monsters, complete quests, and defend the world of Azeroth against all threats. Throughout the game, players can acquire skills like leatherworking and mining, go shopping, cook food, go fishing, tame pets. The list goes on and on and on, kind of like the game itself, which never really ends.
It never ends.
It never ends.
Jeez.
So while not the first massive multiplayer online role-playing game, it did lead to a highly dedicated, devoted fan base, and is probably the most successful of its time. So World of Warcraft contains elements of fantasy, steampunk, and science fiction. It's a magical world that wades through many genres and contains creatures such as elves, orcs, rogues. Ooh, usually that's my go-to in D&D, a rogue. Lots of demons, warriors, thieves. It goes on. So some of these books have these elements of World of Warcraft, such as quests and magics and creatures and battles, and they're perfect to pick up each Tuesday while you wait for the World of Warcraft scheduled maintenance to finish, which happens every week. So we have Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I believe this was a Hugo Award-winning novel, but I didn't put that in my notes, so I might be wrong.
It should be.
We'll put that in the notes after. So Black Sun, it's a fantasy novel set in pre-Columbian-inspired world. It follows several characters whose destinies intertwine as an impending celestial event threatens to disrupt the balance of power. And then next we have The Binding by Bridget Collins. Ooh, we love female science fiction writers.
Yes.
The Binding by Bridget Collins is a historical fantasy about Emmett, a young man apprenticed to a bookbinder who can store people's memories in books. As Emmett learns the trade, he uncovers a hidden part of his own past.
Ooh, I love that. Another popular video game, which I used to love playing, I haven't played in eons, but it's Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption takes place in 1911 during the decline of the American Old West and in the midst of the Mexican Revolution. The game follows John Marston, a former outlaw whose family is kidnapped by the Bureau of Investigation. I always compare and contrast Red Dead with not Game of Thrones, GTA. I feel like Red Dead is like the sophisticated older brother of GTA.
Yeah.
But I love them both. But if you're into that, there's two books in our collection that captures the essence of this popular cult-like following of an action-adventure game. The first one being Lucky Red by Claudia Cravens. And it's a Western novel about a young woman named Jess who becomes a sharpshooter and joins a traveling Wild West show. As she navigates the challenges of life on the road, she grapples with her past and the complexities of fame, family, and freedom. The next one is Cry Macho by Richard Nash. And this is a novel about Mike, a washed-up horse trainer who's hired to retrieve a young boy from his estranged family in Mexico. As Mike and the boy embark on their journey back to the United States, they encounter various challenges and form an unexpected bond.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love unexpected bonds.
I love an unexpected
That was a
bond.
nice one to end on.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thanks for listening, guys. Tune in next week for another episode. Follow us on the gram, do all those stuff, yada, yada. And see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.